hear from Hannah Oberman-Breindel, who is just recently graduated from Yale and is working as a editorial assistant at Random House.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
doesn't sound any
save
more
your car
glamorous
fare.
than it is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a noble profession, I must say. Onward and upward into the publishing world. Let's hope it lasts.
Right.
Knock on everything.
Here.
So we're going to hear Hannah's story and then a little commentary about that too.
Okay. So it was Friday night, and Jessie was coming over to my parents' house for dinner. Jess and I had just started dating 6 weeks earlier. She was the first girl I ever dated, and my parents didn't know. And I wasn't necessarily going to tell them immediately. So after dinner, my parents went to do other stuff and put my little sister to bed, and I knew that they often would fall asleep in there. So Jess and I had gone into the kitchen, and then we're in the bedroom off of the kitchen hooking up. And suddenly we heard a noise in the kitchen, and I said, oh my God. And my mom, she's up. You have to go. You have to hide. And we were completely naked. And I said, you have to go. You have to. I need to go out. She can hear us. So she went into the bathroom off of the bedroom. I threw her clothes in, and I went out. I put on my clothes, and I went out into the kitchen. And my mom said, "Oh, you're still up." And I said, "Yes, I'm restless. I'm looking for a snack." And she said, "Me too." And I'm going to watch some Law and Order. Do you want to watch with me? This is my mom's routine. She sits on the couch late at night when she's up or quasi up and watches any cop show. So she went in to the living room, and I followed, and I sat on the edge of the couch trying to figure out how I was going to get Jess out of the kitchen and without my mom noticing. And I figured the best way to do it was just to tell my mom what was going on, because I wanted to do that anyway. So I sat there watching Law and Order, and the commercial break would come on, and I would say, okay, now I'm going to say something. And then the commercial break would be over, and I wouldn't have said anything. And in the meantime, every so often I would say, I'm going to go into the kitchen to get a snack, to get some water, to check the time. And I would go into the bedroom, and Jess was sitting, at this point, clothed in the shower. And I would say, I'm really sorry. I'm working on it. You can go home soon. And she'd say, Hannah, okay. At one point I went in, and she said, by the way, I've been sitting here, and I've been thinking about it, and I'm really in love with you. And I said, thanks. That's really nice. Yeah, I'm working on getting you out of here. So anyway, it was at this point 4:30 in the morning, and I was back on the couch, and my mom turned to me and said, look, I love your company, but why are you awake? And I finally said, okay, so I wanted to tell you that Jess and I are dating. And she said, oh, yeah, I know. We know. And I said, oh. And she said, yeah, Poppy and I thought that we've been dating since, that you guys had been dating since December. And I said, oh, no, only for the last 6 weeks. And my mom said, oh, well, how's it going? And I said, it's going okay. And then my mom said, by the way, Hannah, is Jess still here? And I said, no. Well, yeah, actually, she's in the bedroom off the kitchen. And my mom said, well, you can tell her to come out now.
What a great story. I was sitting here very worried about Jessie all alone in the bedroom for all that time. But it's, I mean, again, such great use of detail, and it's a very small story. You know, it's a story about one, maybe not even an hour of time that takes, but that feels like we get her whole life in that hour, in that story. You know, you get the relationship with her mom, you get her whole relationship with herself, and with this piece of information that she's so finding so difficult to tell.
Every second of tension is in the story.
And you could have someone give a little lecture on the difficulty of being gay or bisexual and how hard it is to tell one's parents. But what communicates through that story is so much more powerful than any lecture could be. Both these stories, they deal with larger issues, but the story communicates those issues in such a powerful way that listeners really get it.
Now, have you ever told this story before in public, or is this the first time you've been telling this? You've told this one.
If public means to more than one person, then definitely first time.
First time.
Yeah.
You've told it to, well, your mother knew the story.
So she was part of it. And a couple other people. It was one of these absurd moments to have somebody sit in the shower naked for 3 hours while you were trying to come out to your parents. I mean, it's just a little awkward.
Yeah. Wonderful story.
Nice story.